Mswalo inkosi ithula akayithathe akahambe nayo akayithathe yenza bakhe ngone
Mugele yasivusele sikwemukele. It's the 1st of May 2026. Sebumbene insimbi esikhombisa namhla kuseni. It's a very good morning. It's a holiday. Lo muhla sithemba ukuthi niphilile. Lo muhla it's a long weekend. I'm going another long weekend. April na May ngathi uyabukisa ngalama long weekend.
Ubukisa ke long weekend, ubukisa ngemakhata. Kunengilala bukisa ngako kodwa nje lokukhulu kakhulu ukuthi we have made it into the first day of the second quarter of the year. Nakile kenza bemakota ukuthi bantu abayi understand. Umnyaka unemakota ashiyana ngaletinyanga letine. So January to April is the first quarter. Qala kwaMay ke uqala second quarter, 4 months later ngena third quarter. So we are blessed indeed, Lulu.
Yeah, we are blessed. We're almost halfway through the year, actually. Yeah, sikhuluma lena ukuthi kwaze kwafika umhlanga kwaze waphela umhlanga umnyaka sowuphelile.
Wow, suke sawuphelile phela umnyaka lapho Lulu. Kodwa nje lokuhle kakhulu, and I think it's really exciting. Nasimemetelo lesibonile lesiphume itolo ukuthi ICC kutavona lo umsebenzi ngelisonto. Kodwa ke ubukela utasibona lesimemetelo etinzabeni, but nje lokubona lemisebenzi yelive ihamba ngalelizinga lehamba ngayo yebo kona iganzelene imisebenzi kodwa imisebenzi yenvuthuko lena, and it's already the promise Lulu, because ICC ngonyama ndvuna besolo asho ukuthi itavule emathuba lamanengi etinvotsite la ka theater engcenye luhlangothi leli besingal overlook itolo, but we were spoiled to a beautiful theater show during the launch, but now there's an actual one where people can buy tickets and go and enjoy it. World-class theater.
1,000 malangeni.
1,000 malangeni.
You can either buy it on Moja ticket or udenayo le mali kona ICC.
And to be fair,
is it first come first serve?
First come first serve, because the number of seats equals the number of tickets. Naloko ukuthi ke nemakhosi yatabe yakhona tamaswata tabathamelelanga. I think that also adds to the excitement, but I'm tempted to say 1,000 is cheap for what people are going to see there. Ngiyathi ukuthi 1,000 labanye bathi imali lenengi, but value is measured in what you get ngaleyo mali leyo, because even 5,000 can be cheap. Dangathi uthola imoto nga 5,000. So in this regard, to what you will get to see, as well as the infrastructure nalobunanzi lofundofo lobulapha lo 1,000 utambona lo ukuthi nge1, and I'm sure kutaba naletinye izinto letawukhombisa ukuthi why kube 1,000.
Yeah, kunjalo mngwane. But welcome. This is the Friday edition of Kusile Breakfast Show. Holiday lamuhla we are celebrating us December njengoba lamuhla kulelanga le Labor Day, labanye balibita nge May Day. Kepha nje siya celebrate nathi slime 17 siyasebenta. It's a holiday, we celebrate you at home.
Essential service workers.
Yes we are. So yes, it's a happy May Day lomhla ekseni.
Njengoba nje baswathi labane ngasibukela emakhaya solo nje akade jele ngicabanga lamanye nabogiza beko on mabhake kubilise manje alethi kwemala kuhlala khona ngoba bona baye emisebenzini phela kule holiday. Sitheke sivukile ngekukhandla sithi asikulethele naloluhlelo lolithandza kona lomhla kuseni usavuka enqenya uye emsebenzini kukhwala uhlelele ukuthi akwenda ekhaya. This is the best way to start your day, and we are very happy that you choose us this morning, as it is a holiday. It is a weekend still, and kule mphela sonto emidlalo itaba khona ebhola yesingonyama cup was postponed from the 3rd of May to the 10th of May by Etona Phakathi. I think that was conveyed by the chairman of the Ngonyama Cup committee, Umbane Nkosi Hlangabeza. Uchazileke naleto tizathu waphinze wachaza nokuthi ke tihlulena ngabe tikhona besentimemile leqhamuka ngaphandle kwelive tikhumbuteni ukuthi sekupushelwe embili nokuthi ke sibona isikhathi lesinengana sekuplan plana ukuthi batawuta njani enjoy. But we will talk about the MTN Premier League, we will talk about the UEFA Champions League, as well as the English Premier League on the show today with Fabrice Msonera.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes after 7. As Cecil Kefu Stabwe Netinzaba Mplexen.
Abula basebuhlungini abakhohlwe ngitotongwe letindlo temhlaba.
Those that are in pain must forget all the problems
Ngoba
they
kuthi
have.
answer la letindlo temhlaba.
Because the things of the earth have got no answer.
Answer la ikhona khona.
But the answer that we have
Ikulona losetule
is
emazulwini.
all morning.
Nangishumayela nini ngisuke ngishumayela kwananami.
When I'm preaching here, I'm preaching to
I
myself.
receive umoya longcwele.
I receive the Holy Spirit.
I declare ukuthi a turnaround is coming my way.
Turn around is coming in my life.
Akayithathe akahambe nayo.
Asibenza sinemukele nati tindzaba sive simenywa ukuthi site hotela lelisha le ICC ngelisonfo lesiya kulo mhla 13 kutobukela umdlalo wase stage lapho sitawube sihlanganyele nemakhosi.
Litiko letekuvakasha nemvelo lifisa kumemasive ngokuthi ngelisonto nati tinzathu kuyo inkwekhweti lapha ezulwini phalazo kutamba nemidlalo lokusho ukuthi itheater ngako sive siyamenywa ngokuthi sito bayingcenye yalombuthano singene sihlale singcebeleke kanye nemakhosi sibukele umdlalo siphinde sibukele nekujiva lokutake kwendeka lapha kuleya ndzawo maye kumnanzi kithi thine Maswati ngoba siyahlala nemakhosi ethu sidle nawo nyalo ke sitabe sihleli nawo kudlalwa kubukelwa kumnanzi kunjeya sifisa kushokela ukuthi emathikithi abita 1000 umuntu kungena eminyango mathikithi ethu ayatfolakala online sitawuthenga kumoja phinze futhi laba khona kuphatha cash sicela bete naye babhadale eminyango nabangena sicela ke nisheshise Maswati akithi njengoba sadile ukuthi lesasakhiwo seyingca izivela bandvu lamaningi bafisa kuta khona ngako mashiyo ekuthengeni lamathikiti sicela siphutfumeni sithenge lutawuthenga eminyango utawutfola nangabe emathikiti asisekhona sicela kusho kanjalo asiphutfumeni Maswati sithenge emathikiti side singcebeleke kanye nemakhosi.
Indvuna yelitiko letebuciko umhlonishwa Savannah Maziya seyikhutsate tinsatheli ukuthi batibute ukuthi ingabe sive solo siniketwa tindzaba letiliciniso yini noma betindzaba nabo babambisana laba labenda inkhohlakalo eveni. Indvuna yithi kunganiketi sive liciniso noma kungaveti labo labenda inkhohlakalo ngiko lokwanzisa simo sekwesela lapha eveni. Indvuna beyikhuluma emcimbini wokugubha lusuku lokusebenta ngekukhululeka kwetinsatheli lobanjelwe ezulwini.
Leswatini nalo ligubha lolusuku loligujwa mhlaba wonke ngephansi kwesiqubulo lesithi Shaping a Future at Pace. Lo msebenzi wesekelo lehhovisi lalunxusele inhlangano yemava labamhlophe naletinye inhlangano. Indvuna yelitiko letebuciko umhlonishwa Savannah Maziya ithi kungavedwa kwebantfu labenda inkhohlakalo ngesizatfu sekufumbathiswa kwetinsatheli kucekela phansi kutfutfuka kwelive.
As we celebrate your freedom as the press, perhaps the freedom we talk about currently should not be about rights and legal issues, should start from saying, are we being responsible people for our country? Are we being effective in being an oversight player? Are we being fair to one and all? Or have we also gotten into the place of favorites and non-favorites? Have we also gone to the place of taking other sides versus other sides? And yet you should be the middle. You don't take sides, you just tell the story as it is. Because when you do, you save a country. You save a country from people believing that all is well when it is not well. You save a country by informing it of what's really happening in the world so that people can make much more informed decisions.
Lonxusele inhlangano yemava labamhlophe Kirsten McClinbeck ugceke isento sekuhlukubedwa kwedinsatheli.
Free, independent and pluralistic media is the backbone of democracy and a vital public good which we should all protect and defend.
McClinbeck uthi kucinzeleka kwenkhululeko yedinsatheli kufana nekwebela live liqiniso. Uthi imitfombo yetindzaba letimele isisekelo sekukhululeka lokudzinga kuvikelwa ngaso sonke isikhathi. Mabhalane wenhlangano yakamhlaba yete-science netemfundvo Lwandle Simelane ugceke indzaba yihlukubeteka kwedinsatheli etibomake.
Development cannot take root without access to information, and lasting security cannot be built on silence. It is built on truth.
Uthi intfutfuko ngeke ibe khona ngaphandle kwelwati. Uthi lokhu ke kuhambisana nemigomo yentfutfuko yakamhlaba lekhonsako lokwenta kutsi kutfola lwati kube lilungelo lawo wonke umuntu ngamunye. Lolu suku ligujwa nje bantfu labanyenti emhlabeni abasayithembi imitfombo yetindzaba ngekusho kwenhlangano UNESCO ngemiphumela ye-Trends Report leveta kutsi 7 webantfu kulaba 10 abatethembi nani tindzaba temitfombo yetindzaba kunaloko bethemba loko labakubona etinkundleni tekuchumana i-social media. Kubika Sondomlangeni, Ezulwini.
Kulandzela sigameko lesehlela Ntomfuthi Maseko wasenzaweni yakandinda lowalinyatelwa imishina yakhe yekutfunga lesikhombisa. Inkampani yebusiness Eswatini ekubambisana navukani bomake sebamnikelele imishina yekutfunga lesihlanu kude achubeke nekwenta ibhizinisi yakhe.
Kube injabulo yofa kumake Maseko ngesikhathi ibusiness Eswatini kanye nenhlangano ivukani bomake ithatha sinyathelo lesibonakalako ngekunikelela make Maseko imishina lesihlanu kanye nemayadi kubala kulokunye ukuthi aqhubeke nekusebenta. Umphathi webusiness Eswatini Inathi Dlamini uthi batawuqhubeka nekwesekela bosomabhizinisi noma ngabe behlelwa digameko. Uphinde wekhuta wona umoya lomubi wekwemuka bosomabhizinisi sinkhwa sabo sekuphila.
Ngulento lesiyibonile kanti mbambamba walakha so uthi ke market oki hey sengenile ke nami ku factory yami ngakhokha nje imishina ngakhokha nakota phela ndongisita ukuthi ngiwethule imishina la ngithethe khona efactory sengihamba ngiyothenga leminye ndonke ngoba ngiyayidzinga nanawo ngoba sina 2 wema overlock uphindze futhi market oki so oka 3 wema flats kwenda 5 emshini wabona okusho kepha kagcini ke lapha ukuthi market oki hey kunjani vele sasinika the whole startup ex business.
Umsunguli wenhlangano ivukani bomake Thoki Hawu ubonge ukuthi isheshe isukunyelwe etulu indzaba yamake Maseko.
Make ucashe bani make le business yakho akusiya ibusiness nje ukuthi beka zabalaza ayevana vele make ukhulu labekavela masimbona nje ukuthi le design latentela yona yena afundise nebantu afundise neyouth atshengise abantu kandinda ukuthi mina ngiyisomabhizinisi ngithi buyani nani labanye osomabhizinisi lonifundisa lo msebenzi lo.
Make Maseko ubonge wagangatha washo ukuthi bekasengakaphonzi lithawula njengoba uNkulunkulu abemethemba ukuthi uTomentela licebo lekuthi achubeke nekusebenta.
Nginaloko umbonga nje uNkulunkulu ngibonga nesizwe sonke semaswada kithi nalabakhashana nalabasedudane ukuthi yati lokuNkulunkulu labonke. Lomunye ke nakangishayile ihlolo ngivele ngathi lesimo lesi kubiyenza bayahamana namuntu ekhaya. Ngathi lona Nkosi yami lo wende lo maye ngiyambonga ungithethe down wangibeka high.
Make Maseko lolu lunga lenhlangano ivukani bomake utoqhubeka nekuletha imfuphuko endzaweni yakandinda njengoba sekaphole lolu sito. Ivukani bomake yinhlangano leyaphulwa ngeminyaka wa 2020 lephuphukisa imimango kani ngeliviki lelitako lenhlangano iyovula ifem endzaweni yaseLuyengo lapho kutawusitakala khona sive lesinengi. Kubika Nompendulo Shabalala, Ana Emmanuel Dlamini, kuMathapha.
Bamvula abasha abasenhla nesifundza sakaHhohho sebahlomiswe ngelwati mayelana netindlela tekwakha imisebenzi emetameni yekulwa nekunciphisa lizinga lekweswelakala kwemsebenti eveni. Kulomhlangano sikolo lebokwathi ubanjelwe eGobolondlo Hall esipiki labamvula abasha baceceshwe ngetingoni letahlukene lofaka ekhatsi nemali layibekile uhulumende kubatfutfukisa.
Siphumelane ukuthatha insha ukuthi ayisebenzise labo lesebake bayihamba lendlela itemabhizinisi kude bakhule.
So as you go into the market, try to pick kusector yakho people labanye akabe khona umuntu lo mendini kunawo so that they can show you the road. Since lesikakanthile sisindlela ibutani labasembili. You can call them mentors, you can call them coaches. But have someone ahead of you in the journey. Accountable.
Dokotela Happiness Dlamini utsi insha ayitikalele emabhizinisi lahlukile iyekele kukopelana.
You need to be somebody who likes creating new things. Asakuvele ngawe ube innovator. Ungabi umuntu lothanza kuba ngumva kwezinye. Uyalandzela ukuthi abanye bendani nawe ngesoto ngena ke parcel gama esikhatsini lesiningi bathi kukahle ukuthi ungene elwandle ngesikhathi lwandle lu blue kanti ngesikhathi lwandle selu red bathi kuba nenkinga lapho because sowukhanda ukuthi sekunengi lokungcola.
Banele nhlengeto Youth Enterprise Revolving Fund utsi kusemahlombe ayo insha kubeka live empumelelweni ikakhulukazi ehlangothini lwetemnotfo.
We are the now, as I see future of the country, we are the now. The problems affecting youth, affecting so as far as now entrepreneurship, normal self-employment, again with the mindset I would say I'm solving a problem that beyond me, but we don't see the community.
Mthobisi Vilakati indvuna inkundla esipiki utsi insha ayiwasukumele etulu emathuba libekele wona ekutitfutfukisa.
Lodvonsa ingubo ngilowenta njani? Love emakhadi. The more uhleti wena solo uyikhomba embili lamakhadi atakubulala. The more solo sihleti sithi hayi mani akwendeki kuyendeka. Kukhona letigwaca letishoshayo. Letihamba tiyayifuna le mali futhi tiyasitakala. Bakhona labeva lamakhata labayidvonsako lengubo sebafuthumele. Nani ningafuthumala.
Lidolobha lasesipiki libese lisayina sivumelwano sekusebenzisana seminyaka lemibili na BSA Training Center lesitawusita kucinisekisa kuqeqesheka kwensha yalendzawo kutemakhono. Kubika Thabiso Maphanga esipiki.
Umndeni wakathwala wase-Enkoneni ukhathatekile ngekuhlaselwa ngumlilo loyimpicabadala lowatiwa ngekuthi lubane lothethe itinyanga letimbalwa. Lomndeni uthi lo mlilo sewushise imphahla lefaka ekhatsi imibhedze tingubo ukudla bosofa kulokunye.
Ngekusho kwalomndeni lo mlilo loyimpicabadala waqala kuhlasela kuleli khaya mhlalulunye ngenyanga yeNdlovana kwathi washa mhla tinga-26 kule nyanga yaMabasa. Lokukhulumele lo mndeni mkhokheli Thwala uthe lo mlilo yayihlasele njalo ngelisonto evikini kanti kuleli khaya bahlala basithupha.
Lakhaya kwakuyisonto umntwana beclean kitchen wathi kuyasha sihleli ngale la siphekela khona. Masigijima vese sathola umlilo ungasangene ngoba bavuka ekuseni balala e-dining room bavuka ekuseni bagoca babe ngapha e-kitchen ngoba e-kitchen asipheki khona kepha nje sibeka kudla khona. Kwasha kabe clean ifridge kwabona yini ukuthi kuyasha washa le ngubo nale iphontshi zalabantwana balala kuzo. Kwasha nokudla impuphu irice namazambane nezitsha lezi amaplastiki zasha. Ngelintanga futhi kuyisonto sabona umlilo sosemafasteleni kwasha sangakhona ingena wasiza ngumakhelwane angamavimbelo amanzi wawathela angaphandle ngoba umlilo wasemafasteleni labhama ifastela sathi sabukile kushe ekitchen sesicishile kwashe ekamereni lalomunye umntwana kwashe umbhedi wakhe sayikhipha ingubo sayifaka kagogo kwasha ngelintanga nakhona kuyisonto kwasha amacansi nalebhavu ngoba sekuphinde kusha ngesonto lesuka kulo kwacala ekamereni lami lo mntwana anti amakhethini akhaya aya ehla phansi ngathi mina sengumlilo savula sathola ngasangeneki sekusho umbhede sike kuye kuphela bo 2 weeks uthi mhlambe sekwendlulile kuphinde kubuye kulesimo lesi ngisuke sengicala ngibeke imali yama-hour okulima kepha ngalesimo lesi angikhona ukwenza lutho ngoba phela yabona nje kuyasha manje nje ngibela phansi la phansi bosofa bashile besinabo bosofa kwasha kwabhama amafastela
Makethwala ube sewucela lisithe esiveni kanti lo ongafisa kuphalala kulesima ngashaya ku 78 14 15 01 kubika thando kuhle mdloli nkoneni.
Emuva kokubuketa kwanza kwemakethe yetimbuti kuleli yamatfosa elibandla lase-FEA kumaya luka kanye naselubulini abone kokuhle ukuthi yasukumise inhlangano yemdlela ndzawonye yetimbuti kukhulisa linani laleti lesebavele banato sebancome kusebenzisa sikhwama lesithuthukisa tifundza e-RDF.
Ukuthi sakhe imali ngale ndlela singadephendi kakhulu kumchashi ngoba lokho kuyasita kufikisele emizeni yethu nempilo yethu nje general sabe sesibuka ke impression le njengale ngoba sabe sayibuka sabona ukuthi no iviable ngoba nalenza le kahle
licwalingo nasibuka imarket kaNgwane yembuti noma yenyama yembuti sayikhanza isezingeni lesetulu but itimbuti tincane sabese sesihlala phansi siyabonisana sibobabe sikhonda kanye ukuthi ke imbuti singayithola kanjani singenda kanjani ukuze sikhone ukuthola imbuti noma inyama yembuti laphuma ke ligama ukuthi hayi asizameni ukuthi sithinze leto dingcimotsi la khona imbuti singagcina siyitholile khona nase sesibuka ke ukuthi isaved yalembuti ngoba nelizinga leganga ngembuti selikhanze kaNgwane ligijima kakhulu bantu babo South Africa nje bayasuka ngale bete batothi thatha ngebhangi letimbuti sathi thina no kulenzawo yethu la start beka khona letimbuti sitawufuna bo camera sifune isecurity ngeke vele kungene noma ngangibani kutawuba nalabo bamlabo nakhona sizame lokuthi le safety ibe iningi kakhulu kulabo laba bese bathatha letimbuti bahamba bawudidayisa
indlela lebo ku challenge bengilokuthi nasijoyina la bekutfolakala ukuthi lomunye babe udele mali but unayo lembuti sathi hayi kulula ke nangabe baba nembuti akalethe lembuti ngenxa yokuthi udele mali nangabe bafuna ukusubscribe babuyakhona ukudayisa inkukhu ekhaya alethe le mali ukuze lempumelelo itawuba khona kuwo wonke umuntu lode imali kanye nalunayo imali.
Yabubhembe bucopho ilovo uthi ile nhlangano seyisebente ngekukhandla njengoba na 10% wabo uyabonakala kulandzela ukuthi sebanalo nane lihovisi endzaweni yabo bayinhlangano labayikhondele.
Sithi ke bantu abasukume nalabanye bede etinkundleni ingwenyama ibekile lapha imali yekuthuthukisa eMaswati atokhona ukuthuthuka ngoba nje labo babelaba banemandla lamakhulu sebakwentile konke.
Itiko letinkhundla likhutsa njalo kokuthi eMaswati akatifake ticelo tekubanjiswa ngu-RDF. Inkhundla yaseNgilongo yona ivetile ukuthi ikhona imali lelinganiselwa ngetulu kwetigidzi letisihlanu nengcenye emalangeni lehleti legadze ticelo esikhwameni se-RDF enkhundleni. Kubika Thembelihle Magutshwa eBig Band.
Kunati temidlalo lobuketi inhlelo tekuthuthukisa ibhola yabomake kuleli Sibongile Skagel uthi luhlelo lwe-FIFA Women Campaign lutochubeka lube khona njengoba luhlose kuthuthukisa ibhola yabomake ikakhulukazi kubadlali labasebancane.
These programs ahambelana nale FIFA strategy where you have to develop and grow, whereby FIFA ufuna ukuthi by next year ibe inombolo yabantwana labadlala ibhola besifazane bafike ku-60 million. Nathi sekulolo mkhankaso loyo ukubambisana na FIFA ukuthi le ibhola yamantombazane igcine ikhulile vele idlala at a high level even lakhaya. Since nibonile between February and March I had two main programs la funding FIFA. Those two programs hambisana nale FIFA strategy whereby kunema programs lang 13 lapho khona FIFA awafakile ukuthi to speed up the growth of women football. Siqalile after the main ones for the country, so stawuhamba kuma regions onke siqale ngaho itolo. And then our next stop was Satoplana with the other regions. I think our next stop was Stegi, Naguvula Tikolo. We will do this until we expire or renew FIFA because these programs are expiring 2027. But hopefully FIFA will renew again because FIFA wants to see the growth. Because we are trying, objective yethu lana is to make the participation even more expanded, and we are doing it for club football because if you see most of the clubs in Yalusaka are recruiter from our programs because we have a school league and then now we are going to community football. Like excellent in Botswana and Zambia. In South Africa. Okay, South Africa has been there. But in Southern Africa, we also represent South Africa. But now Bugala Lamanye Mave are coming on board through these programs. Natsiges Bugile would see in the next COSAFA, maybe we will participate. I will not participate actually. We will compete this Bugelo Augustine Natsik Afcon for the start.
Baletote imidlalo siyatiphetsa tindzaba tetfu sibahlete makethe sabiya masinyane siyachubeka.
Mswatu ingosi
bekunene lo msebenzi lesiwenda kunamuhla ube ngumsebenzi lomkhulu lo hamba isikhathi wahamba eMaswatini onke awubuka ngeliso leliqophele ukuthi konke lesikwendako ugcine livela kangwane ulakhele nini bekunene
Mswatu ingosi kuthula akayithathe akahambe nayo akayithathe kade ule.
Welcome back. It's 30 minutes after 7. You're still watching Kusile Breakfast Show, your favorite breakfast show. And indeed, we did promise you a conversation looking at our sports in the Kingdom of Eswatini as well as abroad. And we have Fabrice Msonera, who is going to help us really understand everything that has shifted and everything that is being defined within the sports and particularly the football sector. And indeed, here at home, when we talk about shifting timelines as well as defining moments, one cannot stop but think about Ingweyama Cup being shifted from the 3rd of May to the 10th of May. A lot of fans were groaning in anticipation, waiting to really witness this final matchup in excitement. But moving along, of course, we do want to look just briefly at the MTN Premier League, which resumes this weekend after Ingweyama Cup has been shifted to the 10th of May. And of course, we would be remiss not to look at the UEFA Champions League, the finals, the semi-finals, as well as what looks ahead in the finals. And of course, the English Premier League. Fabrice, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time to join us here on the program. Of course, Ingweyama Cup being the top story this week, it has been shifted from the 3rd of May to the 10th of May. We saw the chairman, Prince Langabeza, speaking that, yes, indeed, Ingweyama, it's bad for me, they should announce to the public that the dates have shifted. Does that affect the excitement?
And I think, so for the viewers at home, it's a very good morning. It's a good Friday. And I think for me, in as much as we cannot dwell so much from what comes from the throne, once the message has been, delivered, we cannot really deliberate on it. But I think to look at the positives, I think it's a great idea, considering that we're from huge celebrations. Yes. So you want to allow a week of breather, in terms of for football supporters, which I think heading to 10 May, great opportunity, which I think when the Prince, who is the chairperson of the tournament, when delivering the message on Wednesday, he did say that now this is a way of saying, Nangabe, you they should become part of the final. Now they have the entire time to prepare. So I think for me, it's also a chance for the teams to polish up their preparations, which I think for me also allows journalists, anyone who wants to make the day very special, to get enough time. So for me, great decision, not to deliberate. Yes, it's been made and it's a good one, but I think for me it's a great decision. In terms of fixtures, yes, we didn't have MTN Premier League games over the weekend, but now it has also allowed the 3rd of May, the weekend of the 3rd of May, to have some fixtures of the MTN Premier League, which now is in line with the Premier League trying to meet the deadline of ensuring that by 18 May the league is concluded.
Let's get into the fixtures of the MTN Premier League. We do have a graphic that will be on screen to just really show us what we should be expecting this week in terms of the MTN Premier League. It is match week 28 of 30, I believe. And, some of the clashes here are really interesting. But before we get there, isn't it supposed to be match week 26 or 27?
Good question, Spencer, because when the information started circulating on Thursday, yesterday morning, that Premier League has released the fixture for the week 28, the main question was, what is week 27? Because week 26, we saw what happened in losing to Zulu United. We saw Manzini Wanderers already relegated, getting their second win of the season. That was week 26.
Yeah.
So according
week 27?
According to our sources, close to the Eswatini TV sports desk, we've gathered that there is an information that circulating that this is according to our sources, Eswatini TV sports desk, that the week 27 has got a derby in it, which is Swallows and Bawana Highlanders. And there's probably a situation that says if then we have that game in terms of featuring it, where do we put it, considering the momentum, considering the current situation in terms of preparations of the Ngwenyama Cup. Don't we allow the Ngwenyama Cup maybe to pass, then have the derby after that? Other sources also confirming that it could be a different story, where now you look at the two teams, if you have to fixture them, you need to either have fixtured other teams prior, Friday or Saturday, and just have the derby on its own day only. So now, considering that we don't have a specific venue for that fixture, it could be Somploro or Mavuso, then they say, let's just forget about week 27. But my biggest question is, what does that say about our league? If you can just jump, a fixture because of just a single game. To be corrected, so it could be other reasons, but these are some of the things that were gathered by our source at Eswatini TV Sports Desk. So the fixture that really made the situation to be the way it is, jumping the week 27, it is the derby. Yeah, they want it to be the attractive game. Yeah. They want to make sure that they maximize in terms of the supporters attending. In terms of its hype, it should be there. You can't just bring it in the middle of the week. It needs to have a proper day. It could be a Saturday or a Sunday where everyone has got a time and enough, enough time to go watch the game. So part of the reason why the game was jumped.
In its natural nature, the league is supposed to be 30 games. If we have match week 28 now on these posters, ideally that would mean we have two match weeks left before the end of the season.
Which now
but are you saying we have 3 match weeks left?
Yeah, we still have 3 match weeks left, because when you are considering that, you might not really look at the derby story, but you look at the teams who are fighting for the title. Singizini dropped points. Seabirds are within reach, 5 points. They're telling themselves they need to play their last game of the season. So Singizini, with their full attention now on the Ngwenyama Cup, you'd want to say maybe they could drop points again, having dropped points against Eswatini United on Monday. So for those who are fighting for the league, for those who are fighting for the relegation, the fixture is quite tight, and they need to know what's happening week in and week out. So for them, it does matter for them to say 3 games to go before we conclude the season. Premier League had said they want to make sure that by 18th of May, the season should be over. So if you are looking at how we are now, we could be within reach, or maybe if nothing changes, we could just delay a week after that, considering that now the finals of the Ngwenyama Cup have been postponed. Yeah. So then it says that we could be within reach to finish the league by 18 May or just the weekend after.
It's quite interesting indeed, Fabrice, what is happening there. But like you said, what does this say about our league and its integrity?
Because in terms of the integrity, then there will be question marks if really the story comes out to be the reason why they did, jump the fixture. But I think for me, what I would say is, it's a big game. Yes, the two teams are not even fighting with the title, but it's a big game. But it should be communicated to the stakeholders. We should not have to find out ourselves. Even though I'm saying I stand to be corrected, there could be more reasons to the reason why this is being done in this way. But we've been informed here at Eswatini TV Sports that part of the reason it's the derby.
Well, match week 28 kickoff is on Sunday. That is going to be the 3rd of May, and the first match is going to be Royal Leopard versus Malandi Chiefs at 3 p.m. 1500 hours. This game is set to play at Galanga Technical Center, so fans around that area, and of course from all over the country, fans for Royal Leopard will be flocking to Galanga Technical Center, and we do expect to see Malandi Chiefs fans as well flocking to Galanga Technical Center. Just maybe before we get into the games themselves, how has the growth been like, Fabrice, in terms of seeing fans make the commitment wherever they are? And I want to use Singizini as an example. Let's say Singizini is playing Galanga.
Traveling from
Chisholm all the way to Galanga, as well as the other teams.
It's been quite impressive, so I would say we are growing as a country. We're growing in terms of the attendance of the supporters at the league. I'm not sure. I think there are a lot of things that need to be done in terms of the league. But I think the supporters on their side, they have done their job. I mean, you look at Malandi Chiefs all the way from Spigi, and you can see there is a number of supporters that always traveling to watch the game. We do see them at Mavuso in different areas. So traveling supporters I think teams have been doing a good job in trying to organize transport for their teams. Since another team, I mean, majority of their games, I think the past 3 weeks or so, they have had 3 to 4 fixtures being played within the Mbabane corridor. Here at Prince of Wales, talk about also at Manzini Maso Sports Center. We've seen their existence. We've seen how they, how they stamp, how they make their presence felt. So I think it's been felt more than the same thing. Swallows, Highlander, Young Buffaloes, Green Mamba, Seabirds. All these supporters, their presence have been felt in whatever they are doing. But I think, Swiso, you're going through the fixtures, and I'm asking myself, could this week maybe determine what we want to see? You look at games where one would say Swallows against Seabirds. Seabirds, they know that they are within reach to try to catch up with Singers in Hospital. So it's a tough game for them Wednesday next week. But you're talking about Sunday when Singers are in action against Sisonke. Sisonke trying to fight for relegation. So for them, it's a must-do win. And also you've got Young Buffaloes against Amawele at Mayaluga Stadium. Another tight fixture. At this point in time, Swiso, every game that involves a team at the bottom and a team at the top of the log is quite important.
Yeah. And for you, what is the biggest match going into the weekend? Of course, a lot of fans of the top 3 teams, like you are saying, are just groaning in anticipation to see how their teams can, play this weekend.
I think the 2 games in Sisonke are big. Sisonke in fight for the relegation. Tsingizini want to extend the lead. Seabirds, they are following Tsingizini. They want to make sure that they maximize on that. Swallows on the other side, it's not an easy side to face. So I think for me, those 2 fixtures will headline the weekend for me. So I think for me, those 2 are quite important.
I think it's worth mentioning, Fabrice, for the viewer at home, that the Nsingizini Hotspurs versus Sisonke FC game is also happening on Sunday at 1500 hours, that is 3 p.m. But this one at King Sopuza Stadium. Of course, this one is known as Mshawa, I believe, Mshawa, that stadium in the Shiselweni region. On Sunday, the 3rd of May, in Nsingizini versus Sisonke at 3 p.m. The other game that Fabrice says is very important and indeed will be quite the challenge for Seabirds as they look to take advantage of Mbabane Swallows is going to happen next week, Wednesday, on the 6th of May at Mhlume Stadium at 3 p.m. Any other impressive games here?
I think Young Buffaloes and Amawele also is another tight fixture. Young Buffaloes also are within the top 3, top 4 of the M10 Premier League, so they would want to keep tabs on what's happening above them. Then Amawele also being that relegation fight I was mentioning, so it's another tight and good fixture to look out for.
So it's not going to be easy for Buffaloes because Amawele are trying to stay afloat.
Yeah, especially now that they're not playing at the usual ground. So you'd expect this game probably to be on this side if they were hosting. But Young Buffaloes are hosting at Mayaruga Stadium on Tuesday. So they will all want to get 3 points. So it's going to be a tight fixture for the Amawele side, which I think if they lose this one, we could see them dropping to the relegation zone and probably chances for them making it to the Premier League season getting quite tougher.
Match week 28, there you have it. That is the, I suppose, the 3rd last match week of the season. It's supposed to be the 2nd last, but Fabrice has already explained to us why we may go back to match week 27 and why they may have pushed it to match week 28 before 27. But worth mentioning, the other fixtures for this coming match week are Real Leopard versus Malandi Chiefs at Galanga Technical Center on Sunday, the 3rd of May, 1500 hours. And Nsingizini plays against Sisonke at Mshawa, King Sopuza Stadium, 1500 hours. That is again on Sunday, the 3rd of May. Rangers FC versus Green Mamba, King Sopuza Stadium, 3 p.m. on Tuesday, the 5th of May, 2026. Young Buffaloes is going to clash against Amawele FC on Tuesday, the 5th of May at Mayaluga Stadium. Tabangulu Celtics versus Mbabane Highlanders on Wednesday, the 6th of May at Tabangulu Stadium as well. Moneni Pirates versus Ubombo Mavuso Sports Center at 6 p.m., 1800 hours on Wednesday next week. Manzini Seabirds versus Mbabane Swallows. Fabrice has even given us a bit of insight into that game as to why Seabirds wants to win this game, but it's not going to be easy because Mbabane Swallows, according to Fabrice, is not an easy side to beat. That game on Wednesday, the 6th of May, in Mhlume Stadium, 1500 hours. The last game from this week, Eswatini United FC versus Manzini Wanderers on Thursday, the 7th of May at Mhlume Stadium. Moving along, Fabrice, I mean, we want to talk about the UEFA Champions League before we get into the English Premier League, mainly because we saw some games this week. PSG's 5-4 win against Bayern. Oh, what a game.
What a game, Swiss. I think, I was actually, someone, in the other media house was asking me when last did I watch an entertaining game of that magnitude. And then I think, for me, I didn't have to double check to say which game of football that I've watched that is quite entertaining to that extent, when 9 goals were scored in a space of, I would say, roughly 55 minutes, because first 15 minutes there was no goal. But from 15 minutes up to 69 minutes, within that period, 9 goals were scored. I think for me, last game that entertained me, I don't want to go back in the World Cup in the 1990 when Brazil played Italy, because a lot of people will be like, how were you? And, Francesco Totti.
Pilo.
But you can also go to the World Cup in Brazil in 2014. Germany when they won the World Cup. I think the score was 7-1 or something.
Beautiful
I think that's the last time I got entertained to that level, where you watch a game and you realize this is football at best. Best attacking sides, issues with the defense both side, but I think it was a great game. Still open, going to Allianz Arena next week, Wednesday. But I think for me, from what I've seen, I know people would say PSG, this and that, but I think for me, in terms of tactical discipline, Bayern would have an advantage this time around. PSG now are more mature. They know what to do after what they did last season, winning the UEFA Champions League. So I wouldn't be shocked to see them winning it for the second time in a row. But I think for me, in terms of discipline, being at home, the Bavarians, red and white, will use that opportunity on Wednesday. Others for Arsenal, I think for them also the home advantage would work for them against Atletico after they won or draw against the Spanish side on Wednesday.
Yeah, and of course, that draw with Atletico Madrid at home should mean something important. And, of course, you look at how Arsenal has been playing this season. They go to Spain now needing a result, Fabrice.
Yeah, they're from Spain with that result. So now they go home. They're from Spain at Metropolitan Stadium in Spain. So Arsenal will be at home on Tuesday. So when you look at the fixture, you look at what unfolded in that game. The Ghanaians complaining that they should have been awarded a penalty, which I think it was soft, yes, but penalty is a penalty. It can't be soft and weak. It's a penalty. It should have been a penalty. But then it confuses you. On Tuesday, there's a penalty that is given. Wednesday, it's not given. You ask yourself, in terms of UEFA, referees committee, they need to work on something in terms of consistency. But I think for me, going to the second leg at Emirates on Tuesday, the Ghanaians will try their best. Discipline defensively, forward, I feel like they're missing something, lack of confidence, clinicalness. Yeah. They don't do the job as expected. But I think with this one, they should go through their second final for the first time since the 2006.
And speaking of lacking something, and especially you mean they lack something on their offensive end. When we look at the flip side and we look at Bayern known traditionally for their defensive structure. Conceded 5 goals.
I think defensively both sides are weak. That's what I picked. And then you look at the trio of PSG and the trio of this Bayern. So both sides defensively have got those weaknesses where you can easily penetrate them. But going forward, the midfield of the PSG side, you ask yourself where this guy's coming from. Coach Luis Enrique has done a tremendous job. And you look at yourself as a fan and you ask yourself, this is a team that does not rely on individual players. Yes, Dembele is there as one of the key players, Ballon d'Or winner. But you've got other players, your Doué, your Emre Zahir, the Georgia guy, the number 7. So I think it's a group of good players who are collective in whatever they do. Flip flop on the other side, you've got a group of 3 players, experienced English Premiership players in Hurricane, in Diaz, and in Odyssey, who are also doing a tremendous job. So I think we're in for a second leg, which I think more goals will be scored. We might see another 3, 4, 4, 5, but whatever the score, penalty one thing, I think Bayern will proceed.
So if we look at the road to the semis now, I mean to the finals, I beg your pardon.
Arsenal.
Bayern versus Arsenal.
Yeah.
You mean Bayern is flipping the script?
Yeah, I think Bayern will do what is required. They will go to the final.
What does Arsenal have that you believe playing at home?
The home ground advantage will play in the advantage. Will be key for them. Arteta will probably, as you can see, the game is on Wednesday, 6th of May, 9 p.m. local time. Arteta has got that sort of understanding of reading the game from the previous leg, so he can do better in the second leg. Home advantage will be very key. Atletico lost to Arsenal at Emirates 4 goals in October last year, same competition. So they will want to do what they did last year. So I think for me, that's the advantage, home ground advantage, and also being able to be, efficient this time around, avoiding mistake, unlike what they just did it in Spain.
If PSG, well, that's a big if, because clearly you don't believe that it's going to happen. But if PSG moves to the final, do they have the balance to win it all?
I think if they get to the final, I think they're the champions once again.
You reckon?
Yeah, because I think offensively, I don't think...
You think PSG is walking over Arsenal?
I think offensively, I don't think Arsenal, in as much as defensively they are disciplined, but I think the way these guys are technically and tactically disciplined, they just walk all over.
So in the same breath, you believe Bayern's winning against Arsenal?
I think they will, yeah. I think what would change between Bayern and Arsenal is that, to some extent, Bayern force, you can be able to control it.
So you reckon Arsenal may have a chance against Bayern? So with
Bayern
and Arsenal, it's
but
anyone's
with
game.
PSG, with these guys, these guys are just out of this world.
On the topic of Arsenal, and clearly you have a lot of doubts for Arsenal winning the UEFA, but you see them having a bit of chance should they meet Bayern in the finals. We see how Arsenal has performed in the English Premier League. I think it's the same story recurring every season. They start out well, and towards the end, they crumble. Just take us through the Arsenal story this season. Are their hopes still alive?
Really, there's an issue of what they wanted to win at the beginning of the season. I think there was a sort of quadruple when they started, remember?
Yeah.
So they ended up losing the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. But I think they're still in rest for the league and the Champions League, which I think for me, if I have to be honest, they can't take both. I don't think they will take both. I think they will take one. And I think the league is slightly possible, considering that this weekend they're in action. They play against Fulham. Chances are they get 3 points. They are back to 6 points now.
What about City?
The City are playing on Monday against Everton.
Yeah.
So the pressure...
Is City getting 3 points against Everton?
It is hard to tell because they're away and it's a team that normally gives them a hard time. Everton wants to be in the competition for Europa League next season. It's going to be a tough one. So I'm thinking when I look at the two competitions with Arsenal, I think for me what they need to really give so much power will be the league, where they stand a chance. They have got 2 teams in front of them for the UEFA Champions League, Atletico and whoever they meet in the final. But what is pleasing to the supporters is that they stand a chance to win one of them. But I think for me, if you were to ask for me, what is I know people will prefer the league or everything, but the Champions League is it's because you get to have the star. You have to be amongst the big guns when they say we've won this competition.
Yeah.
The league, you can still fight as somebody, but the Champions League, twice in the semi-finals, I don't think next season Madrid will be back, Barcelona will be back. That I don't think next season City will be back, Liverpool will be back. You can tell yourself that you deserve another chance. So this is the chance they have. So I think with the games they have left, they still have a chance to win the league. I thought at some point, so that it was okay for Arsenal maybe to hire a psychologist, because this is what happens with Arsenal. In August, they are flying up to February.
Yeah.
Flying. We're talking about issues of not being able to score But we're talking about it now. But between August and February, we're not talking about it. So I've heard this time of the season, February after the end of the season, they panic. There's something that happens within the players. So I think for me, they need that to have someone to take them through, because the performance of the guys is different. The rise you used to see is not the rise you're seeing. The Gabriel, I think the top player they have now is the goalkeeper, Raya. Is doing a very, very good job.
This is match week 35 of 38, which means there's 3 match weeks left before the end of the season. And of course, you highlight some very important games when you speak on what Arsenal has at stake here. And, the advantage that City is playing, the advantage for Arsenal that City is playing against a side that is also looking to really win in Everton. But I think we ought to highlight the other matches as well. We'll open up tonight with Leeds and Burnley. I don't know how defining that game is. But
it is quite important for Leeds. Leeds have tried to fight for relegation. Burnley are already out. They have been relegated, confirmed. For Leeds, getting 3 points.
Leeds wants to win.
So it puts pressure for the likes of West Ham and Tottenham Hotspur. So Leeds getting 3 points, very key.
Brentford versus West Ham. This one is tomorrow at 4 p.m. How important is this?
West Ham, they need to be in the race for the relegation. Who I think they could be safe. Spurs, I think they'll go down.
August, we got Wolves versus Sunderland at 4 p.m. again on Saturday, tomorrow.
Wolves gone, Sunderland trying to maintain top 10, quite important as well.
So Sunderland wants to win this game.
Yeah.
Meaningless for Wolves, it's an either-or thing.
Yeah, it's an either situation.
I mean, Newcastle versus Brighton at 4 p.m. There's a lot of matches at 4 p.m.
Brighton, another side that I would say, trying to be in the Europa League next season or conference something, Europa Conference League within the top 8. So knowing that Chelsea are slightly behind in terms of their points these days, so Brighton would want to win.
And there's the match, Arsenal versus Fulham, Saturday, May the 2nd, 6:30 p.m. I think
it's a London derby, so it's a team that you normally give them a hard time, but I think
Arsenal is edging them out.
They have a chance to win this one.
We're expecting 3 points for Arsenal, and we're expecting them to reclaim the top spot if Man City is unlucky against Everton. But let's get, if we keep going ahead, Bournemouth versus Palace on Sunday.
It's another game similar to Brighton and Wolves. So Bournemouth also looking for top 10 finish to try to make it into the Europa League next season.
United versus Liverpool.
Bragging rights, who is the biggest team in England in terms of winning the league trophies, supporters, big brands. I think what Carragher has done so far, great job in terms of, changing the story at United. They are number 3, could finish the season. And I think one win will confirm their Champions League spot, Manchester United. For Liverpool, they're still in the race. News coming into the Liverpool camp is that we thought Salah could have played his last game after that hamstring, but we could see him return at some point in the remaining 3 games. I'm not sure about this game, but he would love to play this game. I think it's a fixture that he scored a lot of goals in before. So good game for Manchester United. They want to keep that 3 points and be able to confirm their Champions League qualification. So results-wise, I'll give it to Manchester.
Interesting indeed. Villa versus Tottenham.
Tough one for Villa. In terms of Champions League, they want to be in the top 4. Tottenham avoiding relegation. I think if you talk about the biggest game over the weekend, I think could be second this one after Arsenal and Fulham.
Quite an important
Aston
game.
Villa, Tottenham,
And you see Villa winning this?
I think they will take it. They are home to Villa Park. Spurs, with this, it could easily starting to confirm the relegation.
Forest versus Chelsea.
I think Forest, it's another team in relegation fight. I think Chelsea could maximize on that, in as much as they are also looking for Champions League spot,
And then, of course, we have Everton versus Manchester City.
On Monday Night Football,
That is,
A dropping points for City, they know, with the remaining games, 3, it could be over for them. So they have to go. The Everton, in the teams that are fighting for the Europa spot next season, and at the new stadium, it's not going to be, easy for City. Both teams to score. But I could say a draw will settle it, a draw.
We're expecting a weekend with a lot of football action. And, of course, I think here at home we have some defining games. defining games in of course, we saw some defining results in the UEFA Champions League. We're expecting some really, really interesting results from the Premier League. We thank you for insights, Fabrice. Per usual, we hope to see you again next week when we talk the results.
So, thank you very much. Thank you for the viewers this morning.
Fabrice Msonera, our sports journalist. You have been watching Kusile Breakfast Show, the Friday edition. We hope that you enjoy your weekend responsibly and that we come back healthy and safe on Monday again. Goodbye.